Hi friends, welcome to Crafternoon. Today we're going to be talking about the book Way Down Deep in the Deep Blue Sea by Jan Peck. We're going to do a little summary of the book. I can't read the whole book due to copyright regulations now post-COVID, but I can summarize a little bit for you. The book is a lot of fun, and when we're done, I'm going to be working with you, teaching you how to make this really cute little sea turtle. So really cute little easy craft. And when you're done with your craft, you have the chance to post it on Facebook for a chance to win this book and this cute little stuffed sea turtle. So make sure that you have mom or dad help you post a photo of your craft on this original link on our Facebook page by midnight on Sunday, July 31st for a chance to win the book and stuffed animal. It's just a random drawing. It's not whose is the cutest or who we think has the best craft. It's just random pick by the computer. Your child's face does not need to be in the picture. So I'm going to scooch this out to the side and show you a little bit about Way Down Deep in the Deep Blue Sea. So this is a fun little story about a friend that is with his swim goggles on, kind of swimming in the water, looking for a treasure way down deep in the deep blue sea. And as you can see, we find this little creature, which is that's right, a seahorse. So a seahorse way down deep in the deep blue sea. And we find other creatures like this, a hermit crab in his shell. And, oh, what about this guy? Does anybody know who that is? That's right, a starfish. And here's our friend, the sea turtle. Oh, and this guy? Perfect. Yes, it's an octopus. Does anybody know how many arms an octopus has? 8. That's right. They have 8 arms. And then we swim away to find the dolphin. So cute. And a swordfish. Look at how long and pointy the swordfish is. And a whale. We also meet, somebody's coming in the background. We find a treasure. You can see somebody's coming. It is a shark with really glinty teeth. Oh, goodbye, shark. And our friend starts to swim away, saying goodbye to all the creatures. And swimming goodbye. And then the last page has a little twist of a surprise that I'm not going to share with you. If you want to read the actual book word for word, we do have this book in the collection at the library, and so you can check it out the next time you are here. If you like this book, know that Jan Peck has some others in her collection that are of similar format, the repetition and rhyme. So very good. Let's go ahead and grab our craft packets. You're going to need a pair of scissors, some sticky tape or glue, glue stick, and you might want a crayon or marker to draw with to add the smile or to draw out your shapes that you're wishing to cut out. So let's get those packets and get started. Okay, so in your package, you're going to find one of these pom-poms, a sheet of green paper, white paper, and black paper to help you create your craft. And so again, it's going to end up looking a little bit like this. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. And you'll see that in mine, I left the string in the middle so I could hang my turtle up if I wanted to have him swimming around. And so just kind of to explain a little bit before we get started, After we make the pom-pom, we are going to be gluing the head to parts of the pom-pom tissue, and then underneath we will be gluing the different flippers and the tail, and it's just attached right to that pom-pom, so you can kind of see what that looks like. So I'm going to flip him back over and put him off to the side. And so the first part is the most time consuming, and you have to have a little bit of patience, but it won't take you too long. We're going to take this pom-pom out of the wrapper, and you can kind of see that there's a little flip portion that has some sticky on it that you can just slide it out. And so then that little piece is just trash, and it leaves you with something that looks like this. You'll see that there's a string wrapped around the middle. It is not tied on, and it's just an accordion paper of tissue. So either by yourself or with an adult, we're going to tie this ribbon around the middle of our tissue paper. And so I'm just measuring to kind of get it equal lengths-ish. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that way, in case I want to tie it up, then I have the same amount of string on either side to make a nice loop. So I'm going to tie like we're tying our shoes. So tie, and then I'm going to tie it again to make a knot on that, and it's in the middle and kind of just as tight-ish as you can get it. It's okay if it curls up a little bit as well. That will be fine. And if it's a little loose, it's okay too. I mean, if it slides around a little, it is just fine. So this is what we're kind of working with then. So then what you're going to do is kind of roughly fan out a side, and you'll see that there's several sheets of tissue paper. And so you'll just try to find one sheet, and you're just going to gently pull that back towards your middle section. This is tissue. It's fragile, so it's just super duper fine. If you get a little tear, it's not going to be a catastrophe. It is bound to happen. So you just start pulling those layers up, and you get close to the next one. When you're making this, you could make it pulled up. I'm doing it where it's going to be flat like this sample that we had, but you can do half the tissue papers kind of upward if you want, and do half on the back side to make it round all the way around. But my thoughts were that turtles are not round all the way around, so I'm going with a flat look. But these pom-poms come in a bunch of different colors. So if you liked making the sea turtle, you can buy pom-poms in other colors and make like a crab or a fish, puffer fish or something. You can buy the ready-to-make pom-poms, or you can just buy tissue paper and make your own. So here I have it halfway done. So then I'm going to kind of do the same thing on the other side, just kind of fan that out a little bit and begin working. Since I needed to buy in bulk, I bought my tissue paper online. However, you can find these in a variety of sizes in town as well. Whether it be Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Target, Dollar Tree has different colors as well. So if you want to make more animals, it's pretty easy to get your hands on them. Ooh, I'm struggling with that one. I can't find the end. So we're going to just keep pulling that up and pulling that up. And we're getting pretty close. So it's kind of fun to do, but again, if you hear a little tear sometime, oh goodness, don't worry about it, because you can see how fluffy your turtle is, and it's not going to be noticeable. It's just fine. it's just fine. So you just have to have a little patience. Sometimes trying to find that starting point for the tissue is sometimes complicated, but it's not super hard. Not super hard at all. Looks like I just have about one more layer after this one to separate to make my turtle. So we'll do this last one, and then we will go ahead and move on to the next part. So here's my fluffy turtle base. You can, if you don't like the way yours looks, you can kind of separate the paper out or squish it up a little bit. Just kind of form it the way you want your turtle shell to look. The strings on the bottom, you can tie another knot on the bottom if you want to, and then trim them off if you don't want to have the strings. If you do want to be able to hang it up, you can pull it through the sides and up to the top again and make that loop. And since I have one with the loop, I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut this one off. And so before I cut it off, I'm going to tie just one more knot just to make sure that it's good and tight. So I'm going to tie and tie, and I'm just going to make a turtle that just sits around this time. So here is our turtle base, and I'm just going to kind of set that off to the side for right now. So the next step is going to be to make the head and the flippers and tail. So to do that, I think what is easiest is if you take your writing utensil and you kind of section off your paper. So I'm going to make a line about 1/3 of the way over, knowing that that's where I'm going to put my head. And you can draw out your head if you want to. So I'm going to make a circle. And if your circle doesn't have to be perfect, but if you want it to be perfect, you can grab a glass or something like that and trace around it. So here's where I'm going to have my head. I'm going to want to make my tail, and that might not be long enough. So I think I'm going to make a longer tail. And then on this side, this is where I'm going to be doing my flippers and things. So I'm going to section that in half. So then I know that I want to cut this section off and cut this section. So I have parts that I'm going to be needing. So I'm going to cut out my head. And again, it does not have to be a perfect circle. I don't think any turtle probably has a perfect circle for a head. So just whatever looks good to you. And put that off to the side. And then your tail. So cut out that tail. And same thing. I'm sure every turtle isn't perfect in the tail section. So then we're going to work on making our flippers. I kind of like mine to look the same, so I'm going to fold my paper in half. And if you kind of look at this one, you'll see that I made them a little curved with a little bit of a wave. Yours do not have to look like that. They can be any type of shape, but I thought they looked kind of flipper-ish that way. So I am going to just kind of make myself a little line up here, and I'm going to make the end that comes down like this and kind of curves, and then this can kind of curve down here. And so that's the type of shape I'm going to use for my flippers. So with my paper folded in half, if I cut down the line, I will be cutting 2 out at the same time, and they will be identical, which is helpful for me. So here I have a couple flippers ready to go. And then with this other piece, I'm going to fold it in half And again, you can kind of see, these I just did as kind of shorter, like leg type look to that. So I'm going to have that paper folded in half and just kind of do something like that to be my turtle's back legs. And again, since my paper is folded in half, then it will come up with a matching set. So there we have the back legs. The white paper is obviously going to be for the eyes. So you can fold that paper in half so I have identical eyes, and then draw a circle the size you would like your eyeball to be. So, and it can be any size. They can be big or little, whatever works best for you and the look that you want. This is an art project, so whatever you like the look of is perfect. So there's our eyes. And then same thing with the black, folding it in half, making the black part of the eye. And it's kind of hard to see on video, but I can see where I drew on here. And then since it's folded in half, I'm going to have two that look exactly alike. And no, I'm not making exactly perfect circles, so it's fine. My paper's kind of sticking together a little bit. So there we have all of our different parts. So next you're going to want to grab either some double-sided tape or regular sticky tape, glue stick, glue, whatever you have on hand. And we're going to put together our turtle. So the first step is going to be making your eyes. So, attach the black to your white and stick that on. And then the white part of your eye to the green. And we'll get those stuck on there. Then using your crayon marker or whichever, you can add a smile to your turtle's face if you wish. Whatever you prefer. I used a marker on my sample turtle so it would show up a little bit better. I forgot to bring my marker with me when I was doing this. So now we have all of our parts. And so I would suggest kind of positioning like your legs and tail, they're going to be on the back, and then your flippers. So you kind of have an idea where you want things. So what you're going to do next is to go around and put a little bit of glue or sticky tape or whichever on the ends, like the inside ends of your things. So I'm going to put a little bit of tape there, and that's where you would put your glue or whichever, if you're using glue or glue stick. And that way we're kind of ready to go. And then you would just take your pom-pom, and I'm going to move my legs off to the side and kind of get it situated where like, okay, that's where I want that to be. And then just kind of push down, and that'll get it to kind of stick a little bit. And then you can add that in there. And then you'll kind of want to decide where you want your legs out the front, or flippers, I guess, out the front side, and kind of do the same thing. Then push it down so you kind of have it positioned. So you don't have them in too far. You kind of want to position it with your pom-pom, because if you just stick them on, maybe you won't be able to see them when they're out. So that's the front parts of our turtle. And then obviously we need his little head. And so you can decide where you want to stick your head in there. So I'm going to put a little bit of tape at the bottom of his face. And I think this looks good. I want some of his body. You can put it at the bottom. I kind of like the look of a little bit of his body below that. So I'm going to stick his little head right up here. And then we have our sea turtle. So just kind of fun little crafts to make. And again, so many things you can do with these pom-poms. Lots of creatures that you can make out of them, and they're really not very pricey and kind of fun to do. So don't forget that if you'd like a chance to win a copy of our book, Way Down Deep in the Deep Blue Sea, and our stuffed sea turtle, make sure you post a picture of your completed project on this original post on the Kearney Public Library Facebook page by midnight on Sunday, July 31st, for a chance to win. We'll be just randomly selecting somebody through the computer. Also, don't forget, if you were good friends and you were trying our reading challenge this summer, those are due on the 31st by 5 o'clock, and we'll be drawing for those grand prize winners on August 1st. So thanks so much for visiting the library this summer and for crafting with us. We hope you enjoy those last couple weeks before school starts, and we hope to see you at the library.